Many felt the figure on the website was far too low in its estimation. Can interested individuals obtain the project budget and planning records?
Yes. Now, we're going to put that into place. As of the moment, our website is still young and we're still putting stuff on. We will have that information posted as soon as we can have that prepared, because we want everybody to be able to follow what happens with their money as it comes in, where it's going. We're going to have a complete layout of all of that. Every dollar spent, you'll be able to see where every dollar goes.
Such a project, if strictly a grassroots effort, would take possibly several years to appropriate the necessary finances for the project to even begin. Does the foundation have plans to approach industry leaders and big business for a substantial part of the necessary revenue?
Yes, we are. We have some interested individuals already. I won't name their names yet because they want to wait till things were in play with us. And there's Hollywood. We are really wanting to hit Hollywood because they've been making millions on them alien movies all these years, and now we're going to offer them a chance for the real thing. I think Hollywood probably will jump on the bandwagon and be part of this.
Are you thinking of any particular people in Hollywood right now?
Well, no, I don't have particular names. I have been in contact with some folks in Hollywood. They say it's a really hard industry to go through. We have so many different producers and stuff out there who've done these movies for years dealing with aliens, and we're giving them the chance to participate and find out if this is the real thing now.
Outside of the financial issues, there were several concerns raised from the perspective of conspiracy matters. Many believe the U.S. government, in particular, has withheld the truth from the American public, and therefore the entire world, on the reality of the UFO phenomenon. With the potential success of your project, you stand the chance of possibly creating a Waterloo for the powers that be who are against disclosure. Would the perceived threat of this project to the government be so great that in essence they would allow the project to come to fruition, then simply hinder, impair, or destroy the satellite?
Yeah, I've had that concern. A few people have had that. If one day we're looking at it and we see an incoming missile. But I don't feel that this is going to happen. For instance, we had the Stevensville incident earlier this year.
Yes.
And when that happened, apparently F-16s were sent after this apparent UFO, chasing it, and off it went. I don't feel that it's as bad as some people think it is, that the government knows everything and that been in contact with the aliens. It looks to me like they're more puzzled, as kind of we are, about them by scrambling their fighters often. I just think that the government is perplexed enough that they just might help back this program with their blessing, because I feel that they want to know answers too. I'm not too sure if they really know as much as many people think that they do.
It has been suggested that to afford as much protection as possible for your project, it would need to involve several other world governments, such as France, India, Japan, countries in South America, where UFO evidence has openly come forward in past years. Are measures being taken to advance a global initiative through other governments?
Yes, exactly. That is the whole plan, involving many other governments. We've had many of the smaller countries who are openly confused over the UFO phenomenon. They've scrambled jets. We've seen gun camera footage, and these governments are wanting answers. I feel that we're going to get blessing from many governments. We're going to initiate contact through the United Nations to all of the governments of the world to participate and be a part of this program. Because if this leads to first contact, this needs to be a global initiative. This needs to be for the whole planet, not for just one country. This is for everyone here on planet Earth. And I believe that the governments will fall in line behind the project. I think it's time to address the United Nations on this subject. Many people have reported that there was a meeting at the United Nations that have been ongoing throughout the year discussing the disclosure of this event. And I think that our project has kind of played right into the hands that they can actually participate in this and get their answers and get this out in the open. If them meetings are true and they want this to come out, then this is their opportunity to jump on the bandwagon, and let's do it for all of humanity. The best bet is to work the future. This is the year 2008. We have grown. Our societies have grown. We've come to the acknowledgement that this is a possibility through science, and that we should just work from here on out and make contact and not worry about the past as much as our future.
Finally, there is the concern of the UFOs themselves. It is not unheard that aggressive measures have been experienced by UFOs. Their technological advancement is readily seen in their reported ability to shut down nuclear warheads. Outside of demonstrating to the supposed visitors that many on Earth welcome contact through this project, what interference might we expect from the UFO occupants themselves against the monitoring of the Earth orbit and their own activity?
Well, I feel that there must be many different races that have been visiting. We hear of abductions and things happening that are just horrible. Then again, we see benevolent ones that are just here looking around or just flying by. There's probably many different races. There could be the possibility of initiating contact, and they come out and hit us with some weird beam and knock our satellite out of orbit. But I feel that they've been watching us enough that they'll know what we are up to. If this is the real thing, they'll know what we're doing, and if they're ready, I think they'll go ahead and make contact. I'm hoping that they'll be friendly. We all hope that. But if they wasn't friendly, I think we would know by now. We would have a problem. We would be ruled by them, or something bad would have happened by now. I feel that they must be more like explorers. Just passing by, maybe stopping for maybe water or food, supplies. I just feel that they're mainly explorers out there. It's just kind of like the old Star Trek. They're just explorers. That's what I feel. I mean, we hear the horror stories, but mainly it just seems more benevolent than anything.
In closing, would you like to say anything more about any of the topics that we have discussed?
Well, I'd like to ask everyone to be patient with the project. It may take a long time to gather this money. It's going to be at least around $200 million. That's what it looks like. The satellite isn't so complicated. That's why the cost really isn't as much as you see some of these satellites, $500 million or $750 million you're on. It's because they're so complicated. This satellite, according to the manufacturers, it really isn't that awful complicated. It's a camera platform with a small onboard telescope. And that's really mainly it. It isn't going to be so complicated that it's going to cost so much. So that's why the cost isn't as much as some people might think it should be. The launch itself is around $50 million mark. They're guessing around $50 million to get her up into the geostationary orbit, which is a little more complicated than just regular orbit. It takes an actual extra booster after it's in orbit to jettison it. We have worldwide, now that the internet has just brought us all so much closer, that worldwide there is millions of us out there that are interested in either seeing UFOs, believe that the possibility is there, scientists that would like to have an answer. Now, if all these millions of people would just donate even $1 or $10 or whatever they can, I don't see why we couldn't do this in a reasonable time period.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Dave, and we're going to keep in contact with you and continue to post videos to YouTube for people as the project progresses, and we wish you the very best in this project.
Thank you.